They would just claim that the Easter Bunny was real, basically, and they go on to admit it's a total fraud. And in one day, and the Chicago Climate Exchange had already plunged by more than half, but the value they had left plunged by another 50% to a new record low yesterday. And we're watching it closely today. So we're going to get into the strange case of gold going to $3,400 yesterday. We'll also get into Senate to sneak through internet kill switch bill. So they're moving ahead with trying to block us because we're cleaning their clocks with the internet and the alternative media. We're also going to get into 2 new videos that we've launched at our YouTube channel for maximum effect that we need to go mega viral to everyone. I'm going to play those later in the transmission today. And one of them has the headline, Vaccine Deaths. Vaccine Deaths. And, in fact, we'll just go to Infowars.com right now for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, and we'll pull that up for people. It's Vaccine Death Cover-Up Implodes Worldwide. And that, of course, hooks into the report we put out 2 days ago. And thanks to you, it was the #1 Google search term. Vaccine deaths was the #1 search term. Well, now we have a video set to go mega viral that will save lives. If you send it out to everyone you know, post it on your Facebook, your MySpace, if you Twitter it out, please get Vaccine Death Cover-Up Implodes Worldwide. It is a 10-minute video. It breaks everything down in detail, admitting all over the world, from Australia to India to Finland to many other nations, they are admitting brain damage, epilepsy, narcolepsy, Guillain-Barré, deaths, and suspending it. The problem is they're back with another H1N1. We've got to get this word out. And then finally, will Machete release spark racial violence? I haven't commented on Machete in several months. It's set to come out Friday. We've learned some very serious news concerning that. That is all coming up today. And we'll also get into Sarah Palin now going to Iowa. Clearly, she is getting ready to run for president, and we'll be discussing that as well. But right now, as promised, I said I'd get to some calls in this segment. Let's go ahead and talk to Jeff in Virginia. Jeff, thanks for holding.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure to talk with you this morning. Just a quick question that I wanted to kind of ask you in light of Barack Obama's speech last night with regards to bringing the troops home, quote unquote, from Iraq. I was reading this morning Ron Paul's answer to that, and what I want to try to get the main point I want to try to get across to people who I reach out to, I try to wake up, is the difference between a legitimate declaration of war and what we have with these phony wars, including Vietnam.
Yeah, they give them a blank check, even though the Constitution says Congress declares war and instructs the president in how to prosecute it and to carry it out. Congress controls the issuance of currency and credit. Private banks run that now. And they now, since Korea, just issue a blank check to the president and the National Security Council.
Right, but what I want to know, or what I'm hoping maybe you can help me out with, is how can I explain the difference between a legitimate declaration of war and a authorization by Congress to use force, which is what we have in the case of Iraq.
Well, it's a fraud. We never had it until the 1950s with the Korean War, and they call them police actions, and it's under the United Nations, and it's unconstitutional. It is treason by the Congress. They should all be impeached, those that vote for it. And it turns the president into Julius Caesar. And that's why our founders said that you don't have the president being able to bring his troops into the country to deal with the citizens. That's Caesar crossing the Rubicon. And expanding on that, you don't allow the Caesar to declare a war or to prosecute a war. Only the Roman Senate can levy war. Because if you let the Caesar do that, you live in a dictatorship. And now it's a dictatorship of the office of the president, controlled by these offshore interests. But yes, Ron Paul has pointed out that there's 50,000 plus U.S. troops 150,000 contractors. So they took some troops out, sent some home, sent some to Afghanistan, sent more troops to Afghanistan, hired more contractors in both countries. It's all CIA run. It's all smoke and mirrors. And Obama says mission accomplished, like Bush said 7.5 years ago on the deck of that aircraft carrier, Jeff.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
You worry, but only because you're paying attention. What's happening in the Gulf of Mexico illustrates an audacity toward nature. A similar audacity called GMO, or genetically modified organisms, means that the quality of commercially grown food may be compromised with our health in the balance. Now that summer's here, what better time to learn about the bounty that nature provides in wild edible food? Let author Linda Runyon show you the best-kept secret in plain sight, that food is everywhere you look. This summer, for the cost of a good meal or 2 out, you can literally starvation-proof yourself and your loved ones against any future craziness and put up tons of free food, too. Whatever experiment is being run on us, you can rest assured that Linda's 50 or so staple foods aren't involved. Our foods are their enemy. So go to ofthefield.com or call toll-free 1-888-51-EAT-FREE and take that first step. Make your oasis of food security and nutrition now. That's OFTHEFIELD.com or call 1-888-513-2837. Start now and make 2010 your year of independence.
The economy is crumbling, debt's soaring, and the possibility of World War III is increasing. I started SurvivalistSeeds.com from my dining room table with a small bucket of seed and a single rotating banner ad on PrisonPlanet.com. 2 years later, we've sold over 40,000 pounds of heirloom seeds, becoming the largest bulk seed seller to the public. The majority of our customers are Alex Jones listeners. Now I'm offering 50 all-organic garden varieties, 10,000 heirloom seeds, a garden planner, and a CD teaching you how to save seeds, so your children's children will always have healthy food. Don't wait until it's too late. I'm Big John Lipscomb, and my company is SurvivalistSeeds.com.
Is your debt problem a ticking time bomb? Thanks to a new financial consumer relief program designed in response to the economic crisis facing millions of Americans, you don't have to wait until it's too late to defuse your debt. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card bills and are struggling to make minimum payments, get ready to take down this number for free information that could potentially save your home, the lifestyle you're accustomed to, and your family's financial well-being. But don't wait. Studies show that if most debt problems are confronted directly, beneficial settlements, manageable monthly payments, and quick restoration of credit are more easily attained, potentially saving you thousands of dollars in interest charges, fees, and unpaid debt. Don't procrastinate. Call now for your free information and begin putting your economic house in order today. To qualify for this program, you must have $10,000 in credit card debt. Call the American Debt Associates at 800-876-2966. 800-876-2966. Again, 800-876-2966.
Okay, I hope I answered the last caller's question, but I did intend to get into that later in the broadcast. Bush walking around in his codpiece, in his fighter pilot outfit, and then declaring military operations are over. It's the same thing with Obama. He said he would bring all the troops home immediately. Then it was a year, then it was 18 months. And now that's not all the troops home immediately. And they've built permanent bases there. They've trained the Iraqi military. They've brought in hundreds of thousands of contractors. It's a fully occupied nation. And many of the political parties in Iraq are on their own television stations and newspapers saying, look, leave. You've put in a total infrastructure. You've got snatch and grab squads running around killing people. Get out of here. So the model of paramilitary contractor control that Iraq is under is the same top secret USA spy takeover, covert takeover, shadow takeover that we're under here. Let's go to Jeff in Virginia. Jeff, you're on the air. Oh, he went to Jeff. I thought he was still there. Okay, Bobby in California.
Yeah, people need to be outraged at the fact that retail workers have been found to have, on average, 30% more BPA in their system due to dealing with BPA receipts all day. Yeah,
I saw that in Reuters. In fact, I meant to cover that a few days ago, that retail workers have higher levels of BPA, and they say, according to, in fact, print these up. I don't want to just say they say that even light exposure to BPA in receipts is sterilizing and reducing men's fertility. It can either reduce fertility or completely sterilize you. And I did see that report. I believe it was even in the Statesman this weekend about BPA hurting retail workers. And there's no reason the printer ink has to have that in it. And to show how I'm conditioned to just accept this, we need to go look at the printer ink we're using and find out if this is BPA, because I'm touching this stuff every day in here. And I'm trying to drink my Topo Chico Mexican mineral water that is in good glass container and tastes delicious to stay away from bisphenol A. That's, of course, in the receipts. But maybe I'm getting a type of printer ink that has it as well. My God, this stuff's everywhere. I'm sorry, Bobby, please continue about where did you see that report about the bisphenol A?
I've seen it a couple. I think that was on one of the Yahoo News, but it was when it showed all the store. One study showed 40% of store receipts had BPA, but another study showed 80%. And the majority of the thermal printed receipts, the ones that if you make, let's say you take a coin and make a line, it makes a black mark, the majority of those have BPA. They're just covered with it. And Whole Foods was able to switch in the last month. Many of their stores, they ordered BPA-free receipts due to the outrage, and all other stores can do that too. All they have to do is order BPA-free, thermal paper. That's all they have to do.
Yeah, here's an ABC News one. Study finds high BPA levels on store receipts. I mean, we've been covering that the last few months. The issue that I saw in the paper was that they did blood tests on workers and found it was just way higher than what it was in the general public. But again, what have I been saying for at least a decade? Because I read the globalist documents. I just covered Rockefeller documents in the last 2 weeks here. That they knowingly, of thousands of different plastic formulas, thousands, they chose bisphenol A to be widely adopted and promoted to do this. It's in our food packaging. It's in the lining of tin cans, the aluminum cans. It's in everything. And that's why men are so feminine. And that's why women are, and of course they admit in the studies, breast cancer, obesity in women, it makes women really robust with just wild levels of estrogen, which then gives them breast cancer. And then it makes the men effeminate. And it's all part of the admitted plan where they said we'll put things in products and water and food to reduce fertility in men and make them passive. And anything else you want to add about this, Bobby?
Yeah, if people go to YouTube and type in BPA contaminating our food, they'll see a Fox News report, and they'll watch how the chemist completely freaks out that they're putting a sex hormone in the food, and he has his whole family drinking out of glass. And it's just every chemist that studies this, their whole family drinks out of glass. I mean, because they find just tiny amounts. It's like having a estrogen pill, taking an estrogen pill every day.
Well, it bioaccumulates, and I appreciate your call. And also, they've been telling everybody, drink soy products. Now, there are types of organic soy where they basically prepare it properly, where it doesn't have massive levels of plant sterols that are estrogen mimickers. But even in normal soy, there's a reason that there's that cliche of Asian men you know, not being as big or robust or a little more effeminate. But you take Asians and put them in the United States, start feeding them meat and stuff, they're like 7 feet tall. It's because they've been eating it for thousands of years. We'll be right back.